have to exchange my video that I posted earlier. There was a copyright claim on it from the background music that I forgot what I got it from. But anyway, I had to delete it because of the copyright. I don't want to mess with YouTube. And but anyway, so today my Alita came back. I actually, what was really cool is I saw it on Facebook that she's selling her own honey, and I love, especially during like the allergy season, having locally grown honey. And so I asked, hey, how much do you charge for this? And she said, for you, nothing. I'm like, really? So she dropped it off 2 weeks ago, and I texted her. I said, hey, it tastes so good. It's really light, and if you want to, I want to train you for a few days for free for this. I really appreciate it. And because like if you go to Whole Foods and you see locally grown honey, if it's an organic honey, which this one is, that sucker costs like $25-$30, right? So I'm like, hey, I appreciate it. And plus I want her back, obviously, it's a little bit of a sales thing. So I said, hey, I will have you a couple of days in my group. And she's told me that she let her membership go because she was actually harassed by one of the maintenance people. And they finally kicked them out because they don't want to have that. It makes the gym look not good. And so, but she was so scared because he was stalking her everywhere. And so she didn't want to be in the gym anymore. She let her membership go. And I was able to help her with one of my clients to get her membership reinstated. And anyway, so she got her membership back, and then today she showed up for our 4 o'clock Friday afternoon training, and she hasn't, like, she only did cardio, but she hasn't trained yet. And she used to be in really good shape. She was she always said, when we were talking about it today, she said, remember when I always said, like, when I get older I don't want to have all these muscles anymore. And she goes like, and look at me now, I want those muscles back. I'm like, I know, man, when you get older it's so hard to get those muscles back, and it's so hard to hold on to them, and I don't know what we were thinking. But I told her, actually, there's a lot of work going into competition training. So I told her I want this to be my last year to train for competition. After that, I just want to train people, for weight loss or whatever. But because it's going to be my last year, I think we should compete one more time. And because I told her, when we have a date in mind, there is a competition in August, and we can make that. So that's gonna be, we have May, June, July, August, yeah. So I'm like, we can make that. And when you have a date, your thinking patterns change. The way you think about your goals change. When there's a deadline, everything changes. And I remember she used to make fun of me because she goes like, hey, Laura, are you sticking to your diet? Because I was a little round then. I mean, I'm still round, but and now she understands that hormones are no joke. The change in hormones is no joke. So she finally gets it. But it was good to have her back, and I have a feeling that she needs this, mentally. When I was talking to her, I mean, she's awesome. She's always a little bit on the quiet side. She's not just have a loud mouth or anything. She has fun, but she's a little bit. But I have a feeling, just because of my personality type, I know she's depressed, and I don't want her to be depressed. You know, it's like I feel like I want to make all these people happy. I don't know. It's just me. It's how I am. So I'm gonna train her this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, free. I'll give her her old price. I'm not gonna increase her price like everybody else who's coming fresh. I know she's lonely and she needs friends, and she needs to feel like she needs to feel beautiful again. She needs to feel you know, like she has a goal. It's just women need to feel that. It's just a basic need to feel good about yourself. I want her to feel good about herself. So I'm really, really excited that she's coming back, and she's gonna see all the old people, because so many of the old people are still with me, like for 8 or 10 years or whatever. They're still with me. I know my Sherry is coming back too. She's another one. She was involved in a really bad accident. Somebody hit her so badly, and she already had torn patella tendon. She had an ACL repair, and now the whiplash and all this are like terrible. And so she had to, you know, with the medical stuff, all that. And she was another one who let her membership go, and I was able, with my awesome girl Elena, to reinstate her membership again. So I'm really grateful for that, and she's coming back too. And she told me she gained 30 pounds, so that's a lot for somebody 5'2", and so she's another one. I bet you when Ellie and I are planning to compete, Sherry's gonna compete too. So I'm so excited for these girls to come back. Oh my God, I love them. I don't know what it is. I just have the best people. The best people. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to also is Instagram keeps showing me this motivational speaker, Peter Sage, I think is his name. He sounds a little bit like Australian, but what he says is, I'm researching for a long time now. It's about programming and how we are programmed from childhood, and even genetically, and how you know, and habits. He was talking about habits and procrastination, and I'm a big procrastinator, and it's terrible. I'm gonna have to just set my timelines and I don't know, something. But I wanna see what he says. Watch about procrastination. So you know, I followed him on his fan page, and then all of a sudden he followed me on Instagram. Now Lisa said it could be that his account got hacked and somebody else is following you, and I'm like, I know. And he goes like, you can, well, he contacted me and he said, you can join my private chat room. And oh my God, this is nice, but I didn't feel like doing it right away. I'm like I said, I'm a procrastinator. And then he saw that I was still on Instagram, and there was like the question mark, like 10 question marks in a row. And I'm like, shit. And so I blocked him, because I hate being pushed like that. So I blocked him. And anyway, so I looked him up on YouTube, and to see the full video on procrastination and on habits and programming. So I'm gonna follow him on YouTube, because there's some really good stuff in there. But it just, you know, he talks about habits, how we develop those habits. You know, you give somebody a burger and fries, and you give them a salad, and then they go like, meh, I'll have the burgers and fries. And then, you know, and that becomes a habit. And every time somebody gives them a choice of food in a restaurant, for instance, on the menu, they always choose the unhealthy one, because they have developed that habit of choosing unhealthy. And and that's how slowly these habits are. He says you're sitting in a car with someone and your thing is you love country western, but this guy keeps playing jazz, and you don't like jazz that much, but after a week of carpooling with them, your feet start tapping to the jazz, and eventually you find yourself humming that music in the shower. And that's how we are programming ourselves, and we're programmed by everything. He was talking about the media, and I agree. I stopped watching the news for, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 years, but maybe longer than that. And because everything is so negative, and I'm trying not to be negative, I can get very negative, and I have to protect myself. So he says the media is not designed to give you the news. The news stations like CNN are designed to contact your I forgot what that system is in your brain, but it's a zone that where negativity sits, because that makes us addicted, and so they can make you addicted to watching negative news over and over every day, and and so they can get their AdSense and all this. It's all about money, obviously. He says the media doesn't give you free news. It's not what this is. They're being paid, and so it's really interesting. And then when you look back, it's like we're getting programmed by the TV stations, by movies even. Movies, they have little keywords in there, and they have little pictures in there. They Photoshop somebody into a photo, and everybody goes like, oh, I saw, they kept showing the same photo, and it's actually this person they shopped in there is somebody who's actually fighting that human trafficking, whatever, child molestation. And the same thing, even songs, some of the songs have little keywords in there that program us. You can research, I researched this for years now. And then, of course, you read books. Everything programs us. That's why it's always you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So who do you surround yourself with? If you surround yourself with the news media and these movies and all, this is how you're gonna end up. So this is really interesting. He was talking about drug addicts. If you hang out with drug addicts, eventually you become one, and it's so true. You see it all the time. Procrastination is really interesting. It's like I'm thinking about what I do. It's like you go home and you have all the things that you want to do afterward. I need to go and check my course, and I need to read this book and make my notes, or I need to learn something from. And then I come home and I'm just exhausted after long. I slept weights all day, and after dinner I'll have like a glass of wine to mellow out, to de-stress, and then you're on social media, addictive, because they're programming you obviously also, and then you're just too tired. Now you're too mellowed up and too tired to do anything, so you don't want to do anything anymore, and you go to bed. And that's how I procrastinate. So right now it's not wine, but I'll have I don't know, some tea or something, sit outside, mellow out, and then I procrastinate and I don't do anything. So I have to change my procrastination. I have to change, and that's where those question marks would come in. So you're on freaking social media, just looking at stupid stuff, and I wasn't looking at stupid stuff. I was actually looking at one of my favorite writers, and his he puts these little segments into Instagram. I love his daily posts. He's kind of a poet also, but he talks a lot about stuff that we go through when we try to grow, and when people don't support you. And so it's really it's kind of cool. I love his name is Eddie things he says is like, you know, there's only so many motivational videos you can watch. There comes a point where you just need to move, you know, don't move your ass. And that's true. So, I don't know. So I had a little input on, you know, the girls, and one of the girls started, she has COVID right now. She came back from a wedding in Florida, and she caught COVID, and this is her second time. She had it last year also. And and then Hope is out of town, romantic getaway. And then I have Doranda. Doranda is in Hawaii. Her boyfriend is a pilot for Southwest, and he took her to Hawaii with him. And so they all have fun. I'm like, oh, everybody's going on a trip except for me. Because you work 7 days plus, yeah, okay? But anyway, so I'm at home now. I just needed to, but that's my thoughts. If you have a chance, look up Peter Sage and his TED Talk on YouTube. They cut it down. I mean, you can watch the whole thing, but they cut it down into 18-minute segments. And I like to watch this 18-minute segments. And the reason why I like to watch that is because, you know, when they have the whole 2-hour whatever speech they have, it's almost like, you know, they have so many fillers in there, and then they talk about their personal and how I got here, blah, blah, stuff that I'm not interested in. I just want to get to the point. Okay, tell me what I can do about my craziness. And then, and I like those 18 minutes. So I had 2 so far that I watched, and there's a couple more in there that I want to watch later, maybe today. And yeah, look him up. And then if you need some inspiration, some motivation, check out Eddie Pinero. He's amazing. He's a writer. He's absolutely amazing, and he does some really cool stuff every day. See you soon. Bye.